very good morning to everyone. This is Eshabhangi Rao, working as an assistant professor in Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering at MLR Institute of Technology. Today, we are going to discuss about Poynting vector and Poynting theorem. So let's first understand what is Poynting vector. I want you all to see this diagram first, where you can see there is an arrangement where you can see some stored electrical energy and some stored magnetic energy, and also you can see some ohmic losses. And from this one side there is power input, and here this is power output. Basically this is representing balance of power in EM fields, electromagnetic fields, right? Now we understand what is the meaning of that. Okay, by the means of electromagnetic waves, basically energy can be transported from transmitter to receiver. Transmitter means the place from where the energy is being transmitted, being sent, and receiver means where the energy is received. So with the mean of electromagnetic waves, we are transferring energy from transmitting end to receiving end, from transmitter to receiver. Okay, the energy which is stored in electric field and magnetic field, which is being transferred, basically it will be transmitted at a certain rate of energy flow. Okay, and this rate of energy flow, it can be calculated with the help of Poynting theorem, which we are going to discuss, right? As we know that E and H, they are the basic fields. E is electric field and H is magnetic field. Okay, E is expressed in terms of volt per meter and H is expressed in terms of ampere per meter. Now if we take the product of these two fields, we will basically get VA upon VA by meter square, or volt ampere per meter square. What is volt ampere? It is watt, basically. So we are getting watt per meter square, right? So this product of E and H, it is giving us a new quantity which is expressed in terms of volt ampere per meter square or watt per meter square, or we can say watt per unit area. And this quantity which is giving the product of E and H is called power density, and it is expressed by P bar, right? Now you must be thinking, why when we are taking product we can take E dot H also, then why we are taking only cross product? So the reason behind it is, when we are taking the dot product of vector quantities, it will not be directional. And as we know, whenever we are transmitting the energy from one side to another side, for example, with the help of transmitter, energy is being transmitted, it will be in some particular direction. So we need this power flow as a directional quantity, right? So this cross product of E and H will give us directional quantity, or we can call it vector quantity. That is why cross product is being taken to find out the power flow or the power density, right? Now this P is also called, apart from power density, it is also called Poynting vector, right? This is also called Poynting vector. Now we'll discuss about the Poynting theorem. Later you can correlate what is Poynting vector, what is Poynting theorem when we are deriving the formula. right? So this Poynting theorem, if we talk about, this is based on basically law of conservation of energy, right, in electromagnetism. So it can be stated as the net power flowing out of given volume, the net power flowing out of given volume will be equals to the time rate of decrease in energy stored in this volume. Decrease means negative, okay, dou by dou t, minus the ohmic power dissipated. The ohmic power dissipated means loss. So this we can also understand by a simple formula. P out is equals to, output power is equals to P input minus loss. So if you see, this is the power input. Which power? Which is stored in terms of electrical energy and magnetic energy. Obviously, this entire power cannot be transmitted here. There will be some losses. So, these losses will be deducted when we are writing the formula for output power. And as it is transmitted in a particular direction, we will write it as P bar, which is nothing but Poynting vector, right? So I'll repeat this statement again. According to Poynting theorem, the net power flowing out of given volume is equal to the time rate of decrease in the energy stored within that volume minus ohmic power dissipated. In simple word, power output is equals to power input minus losses. Now let's see how we can derive that formula. So we are going to consider these two Maxwell's equations, means equation number 3rd and 4th basically, which we write when we write it in sequence for all 4 equations. This equation is for Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, and this equation is for modified Ampere circuital law. So let's consider these two equations. Del cross E is equals to minus dou B by dou T is equals to minus mu dou H by dou T. This is equation number 1 here for this particular derivation. Second equation is del cross H is equals to J plus dou D by dou T. It can also be written as J is equals to, because it is sigma E, so we can write it as sigma E plus, in place of D we are putting epsilon E. So this equation becomes sigma E plus epsilon d E by dt. Now we are going to take product of E both the sides with dot, okay. So this equation becomes E dot del cross, basically in this we are multiplying E in this entire equation with dot product. So this equation becomes E dot del cross H is equals to E dot sigma E plus E dot epsilon dou E by dou T. Now we have a vector identity here, that divergence of cross product of two vectors is equals to, suppose here first vector is A bar, second vector is B bar. So this will become B dot del cross A minus A dot del cross B. Same thing we are going to apply for this particular term. So this becomes, when we write it in this form and we rearrange it for this, it becomes H dot del cross E minus del dot E cross H is equals to E dot sigma E plus E dot epsilon dou E by dou T. Again we will rearrange this equation and it becomes H dot del cross E is minus del dot E cross H is equals to sigma E square plus E dot epsilon dou E by dou T. Now we will consider the first term on left of equation number 1, this, okay, H dot del cross E, okay, and we will put the value of del cross E from equation number 1. Where is equation number 1? This is equation number 1. So we will put in place of del cross E, we are going to put minus mu dou H by dou T. So this equation will become H dot del cross E is equals to H dot minus mu dou H by dou T equals to, it will become minus mu H dot dou H by dou T. Now we have to consider few terms and we need to rewrite this equation. Let's consider one term, dou by dou T H dot. H means dot product of similar vector, same vector. So here we are taking that vector as H, so it will become dou by dou T H dot H is equals to, we will get the formula H dot dou H by dou T plus again H dot dou H by dou T. Then it will become dou by dou T H square is equals to 2H dot dou H by dou T because it is added. So twice of that. Next we will multiply this 2 here. So it will become 1 by 2 dou H dot by dou T H square is equals to H dot dou H by dou T. So this is one equation for magnetic field. In the same way we can write the equation for electric field, means by considering dou by dou T E dot E, we will get this formula E dot dou E by dou T plus again E dot dou E by dou T, right? Then it will become dou by dou T E square is equals to 2E dot dou E by dou T, and ultimately it will become 1 by 2 dou by dou T E square is equals to E dot dou E by dou T, means this equation. So we have now two equations both for magnetic and electric field. Now we will use these equations which are obtained by equation number 1, 2 and 3. Okay, this one and this one, and we will put all of them in equation number 4. Okay, where is equation number 4? That's equation number 4, right? Now when we put it in equation number 4, we will get minus mu by 2 dou by dou T H square minus del dot E cross H is equals to sigma E square plus epsilon by 2 dou by dou T E square. Okay, then we will bring this term the other side and this becomes minus del dot E cross H is equals to sigma E square plus 1 by 2 dou by dou T mu H square plus epsilon E square. Now if you notice, what is this? This is basically P. So we will put here in this equation, and this equation can be rewritten as minus del dot P is equals to sigma E square plus 1 by 2 dou by dou T mu H square plus epsilon E square, right? So this equation is basically represents Poynting theorem in point form because it is in differential form, so we can write it as point form. To get the integral form of this equation, we need to integrate this equation over a volume. So when we integrate this entire equation, what this will become? This will become minus integration of divergence of P dV is equals to integration of sigma E square dV plus dou by dou T integration of 1 by 2 mu H square plus epsilon E square dV. Okay, now this is in volume form, right? Now if we want to get it in surface form, we will apply divergence theorem in this equation only for this P. So this equation will become minus integration of P dot ds is equals to integration of sigma E square dV plus dou by dou T integration of 1 by 2 mu H square plus epsilon E square dV, right? So this is the Poynting theorem again, but in integral form, right? Now if you notice, we are getting this equation with minus sign. What is the meaning of that? This minus sign indicates that power is flowing into the volume. It is not coming out of the volume, right? So this minus sign indicates the power flowing into the volume, right? So the total power flowing out of the volume is given by basically positive integration of P dot ds, right? So to get that, we will multiply this entire equation by minus this equation. So if you just multiply this equation with minus, this term will become positive, this will become negative, this will also become negative. So we can write this new equation as integration of P dot ds is equals to minus integration of sigma E square dV plus minus dou by dou t integration of 1 by 2 mu h square plus epsilon E square dV. So it is actually showing the statement which we have written, that this power, let's go through that statement again. The net power flowing out of the volume means P out is equal to the time rate of decrease of energy stored, time rate of decrease of energy stored, right, minus the ohmic power dissipated, right? So this one, I hope this is clear, right? So when we are defining the Poynting vector, both field E and H, they are assumed to be in real form. There is no imaginary form. But if we want to express E and H in phasor form, the average power can be given by P average is equals to 1 by 2 real term of E cross H. Okay. So this H dot and E dot, which you can say they are the complex conjugates. Okay. So this was about Poynting vector and Poynting theorem. I hope this topic is clear to you and it will be helpful to you. Thank you so much.